Time for Dallas Cowboys thank you and no thank you notes, or maybe for the first time ever a note of neutrality. I don't know.
Oh man.
But I think there are a lot of different stats that can go along with this, but I wanted to say thank you to Dak Prescott. Thought he played tremendously yesterday, and if you look at the second quarter on, I can't particularly imagine him playing much better. Under pressure against the Packers. There we go. He was 9 of 10 for 134 yards and a touchdown. No even turnover-worthy plays. That's a new stat. Well, not new-ish stat. Is like, should that have potentially been a turnover? So he was tremendous in a lot of situations, tremendous under pressure last night.
This season, it has looked to me that not only is the ball getting out quicker.
Agreed.
But he looks to have more zip on his passes than I feel like he's had the last couple of years. Now, maybe it's because he's in really good shape. I don't know if you've noticed that or not.
Yeah.
Like, he looks like he's in really good shape, too. But there's just I've been saying all season, there's something for me that's just a little different about the way he's playing, the approach he has. And there's a confidence the confidence to throw to Pickens. Just, I'm going to put it up in the air, and I'm going to trust you to get it.
Do you think he saw Joe Milton throw passes, and he was like, I need to throw as hard as conceivably possible?
Maybe so. I did see Caleb Williams yesterday try to throw it through somebody's face mask. I was like, what are you doing, dude? Why are you trying to throw that hard? Doesn't make any sense. And Bryce Young did the same thing. He threw on a Tet that was behind him. Anyway, different story, different time. Kevin, I would like to say a thank you note to the information that I just received on Twitter, and that is they have found the culprit. The guy who was keeping the clock is David Mulligetta. So that's
not true, is it?
It's on Twitter.
That can't be true.
And it looks like it could be an AI picture or not. So you get to decide.
That makes sense. He is able to squeeze every dollar or every second out of it. So that actually does make a lot of sense to me. From the 817, they're not a Stephen Jones fan, but want to send him a thank you note for a good interview today. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
From the 940.
I liked that interview.
Yes. No, me too. I especially like it when he goes, and that's how we got the win. Or the tie. I don't know. And I thought that was funny. From the 940. This one's tough. I get it, though. No thank you to Sam Williams and the penalties. If he's going to have those penalties, sit his ass on the bench. It's not just Sam Williams. There were some boneheaded plays. But I think that when it comes to Sam Williams, you're already kind of walking that line. And with him, you already know what his past is. And so hey, you do with your kid too, right? It's fine if you make a mistake. Yes.
Don't make it again. Learn from the mistake. And it's like, hold on, have you learned anything, dude? And then when Maris Leaf out, like that one, Kevin...
That one.
The Jones, they pan up to the Jones family, and immediately you could see on their face, they're like, that was dumb. And I was sitting there at home going, you know better than to do that.
Seriously?
And I kind of know, I know that it looked like that ball was being juggled, and he was like, he could either swat it or hit the guy. And he decided to hit him, and it was excessive.
Okay. See, I guess we will have to agree to disagree on that. I watched that play numerous times. I think he saw the ball hit, thought about for a second what he was supposed to do, and then just hit him anyway. And
it's football. We hit people.
Like, that was probably the most egregious penalty, taking out the circumstances of, like, down to distance, because obviously with Sam Williams, looked like you're going to get a sack, force a fumble, instead first down. But those were both atrocious.
Can you do me a favor? Because I'm not sure I really ever understood it last night. Drive 4 for Green Bay. Ezeraku gets a tackle in the backfield, I believe, and then he gets a penalty for...
He punched him.
He punched him? Okay, I didn't see it.
No, he swung his fist at the player. So there did seem to be some confusion that they thought like he drove him down too hard. Well, that's not a quarterback. No,
and then I saw his knee hit his helmet on the way up.
No, it looked like he definitely made an arm swinging motion. I want to say that's unacceptable too.
I want to say thank you and no thank you to Ezeraku, because he played really hard last night. There were some moments last night where I was like, oh, I'm seeing the flashes of what I expect out of this kid. And then there were other moments where I was like, oh, he got washed down into the middle, and there was a breakaway on the outside because he got pushed out of a play. And it's happened to him a couple times already this year, but there were a couple of other times where I was like, dude, that's why. I'm not saying they felt completely comfortable replacing Micah because they know that this guy's going to be the next one. I'm not saying that. But I saw flashes of they feel comfortable because they think they're going to get that kind of play out of him more consistently and more frequently down the road.
Yeah, no, I think that, look, I understand all the people who, if you're upset, even Steven sounded upset. He's like, I feel like we made progress even if you don't see it on the field. And that's why I wanted to ask him, like, what does that look like to you? Because I also, like, thought there were flashes of super positive things. But then you're like, you gave up 40 points. You know, and like that's where I'm kind of stuck. Because I'm like, hey, I thought that Leafau showed flashes, that Ezeraku, like you said, showed flashes that were way better. But you still gave up 40 points. So I'm having a tough time balancing. Like, I think I see progress, but am I just fooling myself?
No, I'm going with, that's why I say flashes, because it's not complete. There are things, but not, they gotta do it more consistently. Thank you to the Green Bay Packers offensive line for keeping us in this game. There were many moments last night, holds, false starts, just bad plays on their part that kept the Cowboys close enough, because there were other moments where you're like, oh man, this is going to be a really tough play, and they screwed up. So good job, Packers offensive line.
No, you're right about that. I hope this makes sense. No thank you note to Matthew Golden for not dropping the ball on fourth down. I realize that's his job, is to catch the ball. All he had to do is drop the ball, and we would have won the game. We could have gone to bed a little bit earlier. I realize he will very much disagree with me on that, but no thank you note to him, because I even was like, come on, just drop it. Let's win this game.
What a clutch catch, though.
It really was.
Like,
it kept the game alive.
Being a rookie in that big of a moment, they trust you right over the middle of the field, and as Collinsworth said, stuck his hands right out there and grabbed the ball. Didn't let it hit him in the chest, where he caught it like a receiver. That was a very, very good catch.
He did. That was.
I'm with you, though. I hated it.
Now, can you go and give me cut number 34? Because I want to focus in on this play again. I know you mentioned it, but I want to go back to this because we have some amazing numbers to go along with this.
Prescott in the gun at the 39, 2nd and 7. Snap is back. Good block from the right tackle. Rolling right, Prescott throws on the run to the right side. Oh, that ball caught. Oh, please tell me he caught that. Tolbert. Did he catch it?
They're saying catch.
He did his best Michael Gallup down at the 5-yard line. I don't know how Prescott got it there or how Tolbert caught the ball for 34.
I thought that was another moment in the interview where Stephen Jones was all of us when he said, I thought he was just throwing the ball away. I did too. So props to Dak for stepping through what was a rapidly collapsing pocket.
Yep.
I thought the offensive line did significantly better yesterday. Still not perfect, but significantly better. But that pocket collapsed quickly. He didn't panic. He stepped through, got the ball off to Tolbert, who then made the catch. Now, this is crazy to me. So that throw and catch between him and Tolbert, completion probability of 7.2%. That is the second most improbable completion in the next generation stats era. To put it in further perspective, when Tolbert got the ball, he was 0.2 yards away from being out of bounds.
What? Wow.
2 from being out of bounds when the ball got there.
So he should have been out of bounds.
Yeah, and let alone making sure you planted your feet. So both of those people on that play, truly, truly remarkable. But it was a great day for the quarterbacks. I hope this makes sense. Thank you note to Dak Prescott. No thank you to Jordan Love for being awesome. So I know they did the same thing, but I appreciate one and not the other. Yesterday was the first game in NFL history where both quarterbacks had 30-plus completions, completed 70% of their passes, threw for 300-plus yards, threw for 3-plus touchdowns, and had no interceptions.
Wow.
Both of them were remarkable. You want to hear one more no thank you note that is even more remarkable? No thank you once again to the Cowboys secondary. On passes that traveled in the air less than 10 yards, Jordan Love was 28 for 28. That is 6 more.
Less than 10 yards?
Yes. 28.
You realize he threw 28 times for less than 10 yards.
8.
Wow.
And that's in the air. So obviously you could turn it into more, but like in the air yards. That is 6 more than any quarterback in the past decade. Not 1, 6 more passes. And so the secondary continues to be hugely problematic. No thank you to the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know, back 2/3 of the defense for squabbling with one another when the ball got snapped and then really having no opportunity at breaking up the pass that I think was caught by Golden. But there was 2 wide receivers right there for the Cowboys. 1. You talk about double coverage. This was the opposite of that.
Thank you to Kevontae Turpin, who seems to get us in field position when we need it on kickoffs. Like his kick returns are fun.
Yes.
It's a part, we were talking about, and on the other side, thank you to Brandon Aubrey, who seems to be getting this. He found, all right, I'm going to kick it exactly to here, and it's going to bounce into the end zone, and then they're going to be stuck at the 20 instead of the 35. Here we go.
Do you need a thank you note from Mike Tirico for getting us all hyped about that play?
Dude, Mike Tirico was the only reason I kept noticing. He was just like, oh my God, he did it again. This Brandon Aubrey kid, who cares if he can even make a field goal from 20 or out? This guy's doing this, and it's amazing.
He was.
I loved it. I loved it last night.
Man, he was.
Nobody was as happy.
Up.
Nobody was as excited as him.
Yes. No, I think.
And he also got his name right, too, so that was awesome, too.
Hey, it happens to the best of us, okay? I can say no thank you to me for being on a remote on Friday where I accidentally said the wrong place.
Hey, I was there.
Whoops.
I saw it all happen. Thank you to Wanye Thomas. I think that moment of blocking the PAT brought some juice back into the stadium and got them up a little bit. I thought that was really important for that game. And Marquise Bell for flying down the field.
Okay, can we talk about that just a little bit more? Because you can look back at the game now and say, yes, absolutely. But did you see, by the way, we told you to take the over on they're going to show Jerry Jones 3 times in this game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, my God. That was,
I thought it was going to be 15. It was more than that, I feel like.
Absolutely. But go back and take a look at the shot they have of Steven, Jerry, and Jerry Jr. in that box. They did not look like they cared whatsoever about that return for the 2-point conversion. And I think that's for good reason. I was excited. But I think you all understand why, because at that point, you had just seen you'd seen the Cowboys offense struggle in the first quarter. You had seen Green Bay, I know they had a punt in there as well, but like methodically move the ball down the field, and it looked like it was going to be a long day. So I think you're right about that helping turn the tide, but it didn't seem like it when you looked up in the owner's box.
I mean, the thing that happens right after that happens, then you get a 11-play, 95-yard drive in 5 minutes from the Cowboys for a touchdown, which puts you within 4 points.
Right.
Like that was a significant moment
you're right.
that swung that. And then Kevin, also at halftime, the Cowboys finally did it. They finally got some points before halftime to set them up for success in the second half too. That was very big, man.
You know what?
Off that fumble, like obviously it was off that fumble, but that was big.
I was really concerned that the Cowboys were going to get the first part of that operation right. Like if you talk about sweeping the 8s or sweeping the 10s, sweeping the halves, however you want to describe it. So essentially you get the ball the last time to end the first half and score, and get the ball first to start the second half and you score again. Cowboys have had a couple of opportunities, have faltered. Then they scored, and I was like, hell yeah. But then I also worried because there was, 41-ish seconds that Green Bay was going to get a field goal and mess the whole thing up. And then not only that, but you double scored. So I'll give them credit, even though they didn't technically sweep because on the front half of the second half, they did not score there. But they scored 2 touchdowns in the span of 14 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and give them credit for that. I thought that was amazing. But it wasn't until the combination of both of those things that I thought they were really in this game. Even when they scored the first touchdown, I was still like, eh. But when they got that turnover, and all of a sudden you're like, how the hell are they winning this game? Because I even thought when it was 13-9, how shockingly close it was. Because did it not feel like Green Bay had dominated that first half? And then it was so close.
Yeah, they had done that up until the block PAT. That was the moment where, and again, you're right. It didn't feel like that was a seismic shift in the game. But now looking back on it, you're like, oh, it definitely was the beginning of a little bit of a cascade here.
And,
in the Cowboys' favor.
You mentioned it. Cavonte Turpin for a couple of really big returns, especially since you got the return to almost midfield, followed up by the Pickens great move after catch. And then, by the way, the thing that I thought was amazing outside of just the stats, not only did Pickens make an amazing move on that play, he carried somebody into the end zone just about. And so you love the stats, but you love that it's the same thing that we talked about Javonte Williams multiple times. Great. You got extra yards. I'm excited about that. But also the physical will that you show of I will drag you along to where I am going.
Yeah. Did you thank Javonte Williams already?
No,
okay.
I think he deserves it.
I will give him a thank you because, he had to carry the load after Miles Sanders went out. And so now it was all on him and Hunter Lipke, who I think got one carry after that. So it didn't really matter.
By the way, no thank you note to that one carry because it was a draw play on 3rd and 14. And I was like, what are we doing?
Javonte Williams was like, all right, that's fine. I'll be the back. I'll be the everything back for you in this game. And he is running downhill. He is playing a good game. But Kevin, because of what he's doing, and Miles Sanders was effective early too in that game, it is setting up play action. It is setting up for other plays to be able to be made because of what they're doing in the run game. It keeps defenses off balance. It makes them have to be honest about what they're doing, and that's helpful. Now, again, right now I'm feeling but it's the Packers. Based on the last 2 games. I'm like, oh, yeah, but it's the Packers.
Yeah.
But that's not what we were thinking a couple weeks ago. This is that part of the Cowboys. A lot of this is definitely going to the Cowboys offense because they were the ones, and I asked Jerry about it. I asked Steven about it last week, how much of this is going to hinge on Dak's arm. And then Jerry comes out last night and is like, that's why I signed Dak and not Micah.
He did. That was a bold thing to say after the game. But
you're seeing why right now.
Also, I don't know if this is fair. No thank you note to the Cowboys for having 12 men on the field.
Oh, that was tough. It could have been Diggs' interception.
Okay, for the Diggs interception. Now, would you not argue that it felt like Jordan Love saw that flag, knew the call, and that pass wouldn't have been made if not for the flag?
No thank you note to Kevin for trying to point this out. Not you, Kevin Walker. You're doing great. Kevin Hagelin, what are you trying to do, man? Are you even a Cowboys fan?
I think he threw a pick.
Thank you. There actually wasn't a penalty.
Shut up, Kevin. And Cory, you answer this question. Do you think he makes that throw without that penalty flag?
I can't tell you what he saw, Kevin.
Come on!
I don't have his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't. What do you think I am, a raven the one-eyed raven? I can see through his own eyes by being...
Isn't it the three-eyed raven?
I don't know.
I'm not actually sure. What a stupid ending to that show. By the way, side note, and then thank you note to Leah Fow. I know we already talked about the no thank you parts, but just destroying on punt coverage with the faux spin move that faked out Leah Fow not at all.
Dude. I thought he was murdered.
Stunning.
I really thought that he was going to be dead, and we were going to be in a situation because and I think they're right.
Hit.
I think that Collinsworth was dead on whenever he was like, maybe he doesn't do that spin move ever again.
There's no way you're going to see. Was that Golden?
Yeah.
There's no way you're going to see that spin move as part of his arsenal again.
I'm not going to do that anymore.
Yeah.
They didn't even need to. What was the purpose of it? Other than somebody was behind him and he thought they might. There was no reason for it.
Feels like he would have been better off without it.